Good evening, everybody. Happy 3-day weekend, or it's happy for some people, but it's all good. It's Memorial Day weekend, and instead of doing some fancy intro kind of thing, I figured I'd just get on here and talk. So, I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran, live in Clearwater, Florida, and I'm a realtor. So if you got real estate related questions to a veteran or an active duty military member, and you're looking to buy a house or sell a house, something along those lines, and you got questions, I'm here for you. So for those of you who may not have exactly the right idea, Veterans Day is much later in the year, and that's when we go out and party. Memorial Day is about remembering the fallen. I understand, it's barbecues. We do that sometimes too, but just bear in mind that some people who have served have lost others in service. So, kind of bear that in mind on Monday. You see guys wearing red poppies. That's a thing left over from World War II. But I figured, it's a great opportunity. Matter of fact, one of my lenders, Zeke, he's waiving his fee for VA buyers over the week, for the next 5 weeks, something like that. So, it's a good time for us to honor veterans just because it is Memorial Day weekend. So whatever your questions are, hop in the chat. I can put them up here on screen. If you call me anything bad, I'll take them back down off screen. But that's what I'm here for tonight, is just kind of sit here, chill, hang out, have a cup of tea, because it's too late in the day to have coffee. Shouldn't be having coffee anyway. I'm still waiting on the VA to figure out why. But that's what we're here for. You can chat from wherever you're at. Let's see here. Hey, there we go. Put it on the bottom ticker if it'll show. And it won't. Sorry for the delay getting in here. I had a technical problem. This program that I used didn't want to load my microphone because I'd added another audio program in, and I had to reboot, and I did that, and I loaded this up, and it was like, no, I'm not going to let you use your microphone now. So I had to back out of everything and reboot, but seems to be working now. Anyhow, if you got any questions, I probably don't have that on here, do I? No, I don't. If you got any questions here, let's switch over to this one. There we go. Questions, you can drop them in the chat from wherever you're at. I got an eye on it. And, if it is something good, I am happy to bring it up here on the chat. There you go. You can see your comments basically real time. So if you're watching on Twitch or Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you type in the chat box, winds up here. Be kind. Or don't. I don't really care. Anyhow, you know what? I can leave that one going. Spring browser back up here. So one quick bit that's worth mentioning. There's been a lot of stuff going on with the lawsuit thing. And here, wait, I got a meme for that. With the NAR lawsuit, there's a lot of people aren't paying any attention, and I don't blame you, because, a lot of the stuff is just conjecture at this point. It's, hey, this is what we think we know, and it's not necessarily based on how things are actually going to turn out. There have been a couple of changes, but, it's not totally set yet. So got this clip. I dug it up because I love it. This is from the movie And the Band Played On, and you'll see Matthew Modine in here. Great movie, not something you want to watch if you're easily depressed, but
Hello. What's the matter? What do we think? What do we know? What can we prove? I'm so sick of that. The only thing we know for sure is that we don't know anything, which also happens to be the only thing we can prove. We think. Or do we know? Or do we think we know? I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, that's the NAR lawsuit in a nutshell there. And there's a lot of stuff going on with that. But one of the major problems that was coming down is the way that commissions were traditionally, I'm going to say, for the past 20 years or whatever, the way they were originally done was through the seller paying them to the listing agent, who then shared them with the buyer's agent. So if I need to, I can draw a diagram on that. But, so that way, if you're a buyer, when you purchase the home, for lack of a better term, your buyer's agent commission was kind of rolled into the loan, which that worked. I mean, it made sense. And part of the problem here was with the VA specifically. They have in their handbook, guidebook, whatever it is, it was written in for a very long time that veterans are savvy. We don't need no representation. You don't get to pay a buyer's agent. So, that's why it worked when there was this traditional, you pay the seller and then the seller pays the listing agent and the listing agent shares that with the buyer's agent. It was all rolled in, wasn't a problem. Now that has shifted. And now we're seeing, not all the time, but a lot of moves made, and a lot of it's kind of a preemptive strike, CYA kind of move that that they're not compensating buyer's agents, or no buyer agent compensation is listed. And that's a problem because, as much as I love my veterans, I like to eat too. I got bills. So anyhow, this just came down. This is from Realtor magazine. I've seen this a few different places, but this is probably the best source that I can quote on this. That VA signals temporary suspension of buyer agent payment ban, which is really excellent because, again, we don't know exactly how things are going to shake out, but at least there's been some movement towards trying to take care of the buyer's agents who are trying to take care of the veterans. And I've got a few cases that, I got in the back pocket. I don't have it queued up here tonight or anything, where veterans, and I'm going to use this word very specifically, without any bad connotation behind it, they were ignorant of how the process went, and they got burned severely. The one guy, he was here in Florida. I want to say he was up in Polk County or something like that. And this was on the news. I've got the news clip. I just don't have it loaded in here right now. But he was, stopped on the road. He's like, I like that house. And guy came up to the fence. He's like, want to buy it? Sure. All right, cool. Said, like, bring me $100,000. Okay, cool. So that's what this guy did. And it was his life savings. And, they were talking, and, it was all vet stuff, which seems cool. And then, hey, whatever the next step was that they had worked out, the seller didn't show. So after trying to scramble and find him, the buyer's like, hey, cops, like, this guy's got $100,000 of my money. He didn't show. We're supposed to close this deal. The dude wasn't the seller. He was just some random guy who happened to be walking by and thought, hey, here's an opportunity to soak somebody. And that's what he did for, it was over $100,000 if I remember right. And, look, I understand there's times that you don't want to pay a professional, but a do-it-yourself divorce probably isn't going to work well. Doing it yourself to buy a house, unless you've bought 15 of them, you probably do want an expert on this, and that's what I'm here for. Yeah, we like to get paid. But that being said, don't try and go it alone just to save a buck, because it cost that man his life savings. And this is part of where this gets really important, because I don't want you to lose a penny because, I don't want you to lose a whole bunch just because you're trying to save a penny or two. So anyhow, yeah, hop in the chat box if you want to comment or weigh in, or if you got questions. I'm going to be here for a little bit, so let me reset those stats so they quit dinging me. All right, so that's where all of this comes from. They plan to temporarily lift their ban on buyers paying for representation until the agency deems it necessary to engage in a formal rulemaking process. So basically, they're kicking the can down the road, but they're making sure that we get protected on this, which is awesome. Again, oh yeah, here you go. VA Home Loan Guarantee is the only loan program with this explicit prohibition. Yeah, because vets, you're good, right? Like you don't need anybody. Right? Where's here? Yeah. Yeah. I got some crayons for you. No, I gotta give my Marines a little bit of hell. Air Force, right? because they're going to give me hell about being chair force. So it's all good. But yeah, this is a major problem and look, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a dumb guy. I got out of the service, bought my first house using my VA loan, completely clueless to how the process worked. I didn't know anything. And that was awfully scary. And I understand, like, if you're renting right now, renting is incredibly easy to do. And I mean, not necessarily financially, but you go in, you do a couple of forms, they tell you all you got to fill out. They say yes, they say no, and you move your stuff in. And at the end of it, well, there's a better than even chance that you're not getting your security deposit back. But, overall, the process is pretty straightforward. And there's not a lot of stuff that you're probably not going to know out of hand. The flip side of that is you're paying for that privilege. And because it's easy to get in, relatively easy to get out, that costs you a lot of money. Buying a house is a completely different scenario. It's much, much harder to do. And selling a house is much, much harder to do. But the rewards are totally there. And I'm going to use a very oversimplified example with the concept of equity, which is the difference between what you paid for your house and what you get out of it. And I'm not talking any, fees or, paying for realtors or anything like that. Just saying that if you bought a house for $300,000, 2 years later, you turn around and sold it for $300,000 and, net, not paying anybody else's fees. At the end of that 2 years, if you'd been paying $2,000 a month in rent, which that's still cheap by today's standards, so is $300,000 house. But if it was $2,000 a month in rent times 24 months, yeah, that's a lot of money that went directly to your landlord. So, and because I suck at math, I try to use an easy example and I still suck, but that's why I have a calculator. So let's go 24 months times $2,000. That's $48,000. I thought that was right. I mean, my math is bad, but it was like, no, that's right. Just had to double check myself. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at $48,000 over 2 years that you've given to a landlord. If you just break even on your deal, you bought it for 300, you sell it for 300, or like 320, 330, after getting rid of all the fees and everything, you're still up 48 grand over what you would be paying that to a landlord. That 50 grand is worth an extra little bit of hassle there. So, and this is the concept of equity, that you're actually, for lack of a better term, kind of putting that money into a piggy bank and getting it back out when you're done. And as long as you're in there 2 years out of the previous 5, then any profit you make as a single person, up to $250,000, that's right, $250,000. The IRS literally says, nope, we consider that tax paid. We don't want to hear about it. Don't tell us. So no, that's capital gains tax exemption, section 121 of the IRS code. If you really want to get technical, I can remember that. I can't do the simple math though. But anyhow, yeah. So if you made, you bought it for 300 and you sold it for 400, you're not going to be taxed on that as long as you lived in it 2 years of the previous 5 as your primary residence. Not an attorney. Didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. But, that's a very powerful concept. And if you're just getting out of the military, like, dude, do whatever you need to do to go buy a house as soon as you can. There's tremendous loan programs out there that work in with the VA loan. A great lender will totally hook you up. And if you're transferring to the same career, which I know some of you just put warheads on foreheads, but if you're transferring to a similar career, like you're an aircraft maintenance tech and you get a job working over at the airport maintaining aircraft, then all of that previous job history can kind of carry over with you. Again, I'm not a lender, not an attorney, but, you're in the same industry. So that works out very, very well for you. And, that you don't have to wait a year or 2 or 5 years at a job to be able to get a home loan. So, and once you've got the loan, I hate to say this, I'm not saying, do anything wrong, but, you get the loan on Friday and you close on Friday, and Monday you walk in and they go, hey, you're fired. Loan's closed. That house is yours. Like mind you still got to keep paying, but there's protections there for that too. So these are like really powerful concepts that can work for you instead of against you. And yeah, I do kind of sound like I'm a little down on renting. There is a time, like if you're, you were stationed out, I'm going to use my example. If you're stationed out in California and you got to move back to Florida when you get out, and, like I was moving back to where my family was. So I was like, no, I'm good. I know exactly where I'm going to live. If I have to crash on mom and dad's couch for a couple of months until I get my act back together, that's what I'm going to do. But I ain't doing Uncle Sam anymore. But yeah, that's fine. But if you need to rent, that's fine too. But do it for intentionally, especially if you're relocating to an area you haven't been to. Get the 6-month lease, and on day one, you should be out looking for, getting your financing lined up, trying to look for an agent and finding a home to buy. Because in the meantime, you're going to get familiar with an area. I don't care where you move to, any place in the country. Within 6 months, you'll have a really good idea where your house should be. And that's a completely personal decision. But yeah, like renting, that should be a short-term solution for relocation. That's not a long-term solution. And I actually had somebody, she wasn't a vet, but I was helping a vet look at another house, and the house had a tenant in it, which was totally cool. And that tenant had been renting from that owner for 32 years. Now, look, I get it. Sometimes it's easier just call the landlord and say, come fix it. But in 32 years, she would have paid off that place and had money left over. And I was like, oh my God, man, like you can't go back and reset the clock. And these are all concepts that when I got out of the military, nobody told me. Like I was completely flying blind. Like the best I got from my parents was, hey, go buy a house, get out of ours, right? Which, okay, I dig it. I get it. But yeah, it was a tough transition for me. I know for a lot of people who are getting out of the military, it's a tough transition for you too. And buying a house just makes it that much more stressful. But be intentional about what you're doing. That's the best thing I can say and ask for. So, yeah, guys, hop in the chat here. Chat from wherever you're at. If it doesn't matter if you're on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, you put it in the chat, it'll come up here. So. Yeah, I'm a real big advocate, and I'm trying to, at least as best I can, fix for other people the problems that I had for myself. I'm trying to scratch my own itch and tell you the stuff that I needed to hear. And that's huge. Like, oh yeah. And this was a big part of it. Like, I didn't know that until I got in the industry, I didn't know that VA buyers couldn't pay their agent directly. Why not? I'm hiring you. I should be able to pay you. I should be able to finance that into the deal. That's what's works for everybody else. It just, it seemed awfully bad to me anyway. So, but yeah, they're going to change that, which is fantastic. But yeah, here you go. The VA's current policy states that veteran buyers who are using their VA loan benefit may not, under any circumstances, yeah, okay, get a chat here, but I'll come back, may not under any circumstances be charged a brokerage fee or commission in connection with services of a real estate professional. I can't send you an invoice for my services. That doesn't seem right. Like, I mean, and look, I can understand if it's a, wham bam and we're done kind of scenario. All right, maybe you got a little bit of something to say there, but maybe we got lucky on the first go round. Other people, I've spent years looking for homes for them until we found exactly the right one with the right scenario, pulled the trigger, and got the deal across the line. Trying to tell me I shouldn't be compensated for potentially years worth of work? It's just not right. So, hey, got a chat message here. I'm going to pop this up. There's the chat box. David Quillen, there's no time like now to get it done. He should know. I helped him buy a place, him and his wife. And they got a great deal. It was a great deal for the seller, and it worked out magnificently for them. And now they are sitting on a boatload of equity, which is amazing. So it looks like Dave's writing in from Facebook, which is awesome. I love this setup. Like, as much as this setup drives me nuts trying to make things happen, I've been working on a problem all day long. It's a stupid little tech problem that shouldn't be a problem, but apparently a bunch of other people have the same question and haven't been able to make it work, so I don't feel too bad. But yeah, like I love being able to just pop this up here. So anyhow, if you're on here, hop on, comment, like, share, whatever. Anyhow, so yeah, this is a major problem that has been going on for a long time. Again, traditionally we had a few workarounds, but again, that was at the discretion of the listing agent. And that became part of the problem too, because, you know, if the listing agent's like, hey, I'm getting, you know, 7 tacos and I might give you 1 taco, I'm going to take a bite out of it first. Man, that's really crappy for somebody who could have worked with somebody for a couple of years. And yeah, I can go and say, look, I'm getting my 3 tacos, or, you know, my clients are loyal to me, and they're not going to follow through with the deal. They've told me they're not going to follow through with the deal because, you know, that's not right. I deserve to get paid. And, you know, this is a negotiation battle kind of thing, but, you know, there's some agents that are just like, I don't care. Okay. So you're just going to lose out on a potential deal. Okay. And they walk away. So, you know, we'll go find someplace else. At least now, this, in the short term, again, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but it at least is trending in the right direction. In the long term, this is going to be great. Because, yeah, you know, I shouldn't have to base my relationship with a client on whether or not I could get paid. Like, how many other careers do you know of that you don't get paid and for years potentially, and if a deal crosses the finish line and then your paycheck is in somebody else's hands, like, yeah, that's scary and sketchy. So I'm really stoked over this. This is absolutely a great thing that's happening. There's a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, hey, there's NAR's proposed settlement agreement. Oh man, that'll put you to sleep for darn sure, if I'm not putting you to sleep. MLS policy changes go with it. Settlement FAQ. Why did NAR enter into the settlement? Because they got sued. And you know, those attorneys, I actually have this saved someplace. Those attorneys netted like 33% plus additional fees, $1,200 an hour for the attorneys, like $300 or $600 an hour for their paralegals. And you know, like when it comes down to, oh wait, where'd my memes go? It's gonna take me forever to, it's like I've got this pretty well kitted out. Wait, I got a meme for this. Yeah, that's just gonna take forever to play. I don't know. Maybe y'all can't hear that, but quick to the prop box. So yeah, I keep this because it's a really good prop. I got this letter in the mail. I should probably put my hand over my actual address. I don't care. Y'all want to come see me, come see me. We'll hang out. We'll have a barbecue. But yeah, this is the flyer that got mailed out to pretty much anybody who did a real estate transaction the past 10 years. If you sold a home and paid a commission to a real estate agent, you may be part of a class action settlement. All right. Last estimate I saw, which was today, and again, it was third-party source, so I don't know exactly how accurate it was, but after the lawyers have gotten done picking this settlement clean, which it was not a cheap settlement, it looks like the average consumer might get like $90, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, but it's all for the consumer, right? I love this stuff. You can't make this up. But anyhow, yeah, this is the settlement's a big thing, but the fact that and look, a lot of us are not thrilled with the settlement. I kind of dig it because then it is much more transparent going forward that my buyers are paying me and I'm not relying on somebody else to set my rate. Like that has always seemed kind of sketchy to me. Especially because, you know, some of these other agents I've dealt with, well, you know, if they were drowned, I do the Clark Kent thing, you know, the Superman, the building's on fire, and, you know, I'll just change back into Clark Kent and whistle and walk that way. That's how I feel about some of these agents I've dealt with. But, you know, that's the nature of the beast. That's why I get paid, is to deal with the headache-inducing people. Speaking of which, actually, the listing agents on my own house almost didn't buy this place because they pissed me off so bad. So yeah, it's, but now I'm like, hey, I can actually get paid by my veteran buyer. That's awesome. So things are changing. Not a bad thing though. But anyhow, yeah, the NAR settlement, that, as much as some people are hating on the NAR settlement, the fact that they turned around and went to bat for veteran buyers, that's absolutely incredible. And I got to give them props. I'm still not going to throw them any extra money, but I got to give them props for doing the right thing there. Should have been like this all the time. Anyhow, let's see here. What else can we talk about for veteran buyers and sellers? Y'all got questions, throw them in the chat, please. I'm here. It's just me and Dave right now. But anyhow, hit my earbud. But yeah, for VA buyers, look, you don't necessarily need a real estate agent or realtor. I always make that distinction. I got to talk nice about other realtors, but not all real estate agents are realtors. So if I talk bad about a real estate agent, that's not under the code of ethics. I can talk all the trash I want to. So you'll hear me make that distinction continually. But yeah, some of these agents out here, man, they are a piece of work. But I dig that this is how things are going to work out. I dig that the agreement becomes specifically between me and my buyer. That is just incredible. And, if you're using a different agent, they don't have to be a veteran. That's cool. I like working with other veterans, and they've all told me they liked working with me because we get to be authentic. And that means cussing each other out, giving each other a little bit of hell, which that's part of the veteran code. And we find that kind of endearing. But yeah, feel free to call me Chair Force and tease me about having the good golf courses and having lobster and steak for dinner every night. It's okay. You can tease me about that. Call me Chair Force. I don't mind. Anyhow, but yeah, they don't need to be a military veteran. It does help a lot. Like there's a separate certification you can get as a military relocation professional. It's a designation through the Realtor organization. It does cost your agent money to have that designation. And I was thinking about taking the course. I'm like, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. So far I've held off on it. I really don't like taking courses, because it's tough to find. For me to find value. It's that whole, this was a Zoom that could have been an email. Yeah, it's totally that. Let's see, am I missing anything? Oh, okay. Well, hey, look at that. I got to do the be right back thing. So where's that one? Be right back. Hey, look at that. And we're back. If it wasn't family, I wouldn't be answering a text message in a live stream. That's okay. Problem solved. Minor issue. Dang crap. Let me do it this way. All right, that's cool. All right, that one's done. Anyhow. So, yeah, it's a big thing to have somebody that you feel comfortable with, and it's very difficult. I'm not going to say it's difficult. Like, I got civilian friends. Most of them are just as sick and twisted as I am. So, that works out. But unless you really are looking for the prim and proper spiffed up agent, find somebody who is a veteran or is a little rougher around the edges, because you'll have a much better experience. I'm going to tell it to you straight. I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff. I try to be gentle about it, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. So it's a good thing. So anyhow, let's get rid of that little ticker. I think it's getting old looking at it. So yeah, choose your agent, choose your agent or realtor wisely. Try and have a good experience. VA loan is 0 down. That doesn't mean you should put 0 down, and that doesn't mean you're not going to have some out-of-pocket expenses. But at the end of the day, and when I was buying my first house, I had to do the 0 down thing. I think when I bought this house, I was pretty much well, no, I wasn't 0 down, but it was close. But no, it's like a huge benefit. And I always look at it this way, because I get some listing agents, like, even when I was buying my house, they're like, you don't have enough skin in the game. I'm like, bitch, you did not just say that to a veteran. Like, that is the fastest way to get me to go off on somebody. And yeah, I will lose my religion on them because they deserve it. Anyhow, but no, the money out of pocket thing, you're going to need to pay for a home inspection. And unless you're a licensed home inspector, even if you are, you shouldn't do that for your own house, well, maybe you should, but anything outside of that, their entire job is to make sure that about the things that aren't going to be quite so visible, and some of the things that are visible. You want a great home inspector that knows what's important and what's nice to have, but should still be mentioned. I've seen some wild stuff out there, and yes, that includes if you're buying a brand new construction home. I have seen those fail inspections like you wouldn't believe. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's good. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's bad either. But, that's why you pay a home inspector. Same thing on used homes. You pay somebody to go through and make sure that everything is how it should be. And if it's not, are these things that you're willing to accept? And as far as VA loan goes, there's 3 things you need to worry about. There's the 3 S's. Not those 3. The other 3. It has to be safe. So you can't have like a gaping pit of alligators in your living room. It has to be secure. So you got to be able to lock the front door, close all the windows, that kind of thing. And it has to be sanitary. You can't have maggots crawling around on your floor. No dead raccoons in the attic, that kind of stuff. Part of that also includes the wood destroying organism. That's mostly termites. There's fungus too. I've learned that. But yeah, you want something that a house that doesn't have those problems, because the VA loan was written to benefit veterans. We put it out there. We raised our right hand and said, sure, blank check, let's go. So they have a minimum standard, surprisingly. Like single family homes, that's it. Safe, secure, sanitary. FHA is actually a little bit more specific about certain things. The VA is a little bit looser about them. So, everybody holds up, well, I'll take an FHA, but never a VA. They're too tough. VA is way easier. And even in a 0 down scenario, it's still way easier. And like VA has some great stuff, like an appraisal has to be done within 10 days of it being ordered. Good luck with that with Joe Schmuckatelli's Beef Jerky Emporium and Home Loan Store. Yeah. No, VA loans, I love them, and I love working with vets. So if you are a veteran, and somebody's in your ear about, oh, you should go conventional. Yeah. Also, a couple of years back, one of the other cool things that happened for the VA loan is they removed the maximum loan amount. Now, there's some terms and conditions that apply, but yeah, you could buy a $10 million home with a VA loan. It's cool. So, matter of fact, somebody on my friends list just closed one for over $1 million with a VA loan. And I'm like, that's amazing, so not not all like if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I'll listen to this guy for a minute. Just because a lot of veterans are grunts doesn't mean all veterans were grunts. And there are some, even if they are, some of them come out, build a business, and are exceedingly well qualified. So don't judge a book by its cover. I don't judge books by their cover. I don't really care. You can show up looking like, Bob, Oscar the Grouch, living in your trash can. I don't know. Maybe you're sitting on $1 billion. How am I supposed to know that? And, that's part of growing up in this area. Billionaires always wore shorts, flip-flops, Hawaiian shirt, just chilled. So it's an important thing to not judge people. If you get an agent who's like, you're a veteran, fire them. Just fire them. You shouldn't use a VA loan. It's not competitive. Fire them. Now, there's the flip side of that is if you're coming up and looking at a house, some of these, it's on the listing agent. Most of this is kind of what really aggravates me with a lot of the listing agents. The sellers aren't really that judgy about it. They're, in some cases, like they might even be, yeah, my uncle was, in the Navy. Sweet. Okay, cool. Oh, and the listing agents will say, oh, this is a VA loan. It's not worth anything. Like, we'll never be able to close this. And they'll poo-poo it. That's not fair to the veteran. Not that veterans are a protected class yet. Yeah. But it's a great loan product. There's still prejudice around it. I'm not going to lie. But that is going by the wayside very quickly. And this scenario here, it's going to disappear. Like, and there is some scuttlebutt. I did see Florida made a move to make veterans a protected class. And it's up on the national level to do the same thing. Which that would be fantastic, to be able to say, did you just discriminate against my veteran? Yeah, that's awesome. So anyhow, on the home buying side, vets, find somebody who speaks your language, can talk to you authentically, who understands VA loans. That's a huge thing. And look, I'll be the first to say every master was once a disaster. I had my hand held through the first couple myself. And even now I'm like, well, something changed. I'll call my lender and find out. My job is not to be an expert on VA loans. It's to be knowledgeable enough to know ask the right questions. So, and I work with great lenders who do that. So if you got any questions about that stuff, chime in. As soon as I figure out what this little technical glitch is, I'll be bringing on guests. A couple of them are VA loan experts, like real huge, like well-renowned experts. And I'm happy to showcase what they have to tell you about it. So, anyhow, so that's a whole bunch on the VA home buyer side. There's a bunch of steps in the process, but overall it's still pretty straightforward. Cash out of pocket, you're gonna have to pay for a home inspection. I'm gonna use a round number here. Someone might do it for less, but round number here, you're looking at $500. I would say, like, depending if you haven't picked a home inspector yet, I'd even go $750. I'd even say plan on paying out $1,000 for a home inspection. Because then when it comes back, and they're like, no, I'll do it for $300. You're super happy, right? Under promise, over deliver. Same thing goes, you're going to need a wood destroying organism inspection. That's huge. That's, hey, you don't have fungus, you don't have termites. And then everything else, you're going to need some money to put down for, it's called an earnest money deposit. It's also referred to as escrow. And that's kind of like putting down a bar bet to say, this is what we're going to, yes, we want this house enough to actually put money down on it. That is customary. It's not legally required. I had that argument with one of the big name real estate companies out there. They didn't want to even look at the offer. Oh, there's no earnest money included. It doesn't need to be. Legally, there does not need to be that. Oh, we don't think so. Well, I encourage you to call the legal hotline and they will tell you otherwise. There is no requirement to even have money to get a house. You can say, I like his shirt. Here's my house. That's legal. It's a pain in the butt, but it's legal. So again, not an attorney. But, you're better off being able to put money into escrow to make a stronger offer. If you're out there, I just did the market statistics. Single family homes, those are going for about 1 out of every 3 is being bought in cash. So you probably want to put down at least 1% of the purchase price. If you're looking at a $500,000 home, you want to put in $5,000 into escrow. Have another 1,000 sitting around to go for the other things you're going to need, the home inspection. And by the way, home inspection and appraisal, 2 different things. Home inspection is for your information. The appraisal is the bank looking at it going, can I get $500,000 out of this place if I need to? Appraisal ain't got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with the bank. So, excuse me, I need a cough button here. But yeah, it's a, there's some steps in the process. You're going to have to put money out there. But look, if you're threadbare and $100 is the best you can come up with, then $100 it'll be what it'll be. And there's things we can do to help move that along. So of course everything's in flux right now, but anyhow, again, put the ticker back up here, chat from where you're at. Doesn't matter if you're on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. I'm trying to remember the other platforms that are stream. Rumble. I'm over on Rumble. I'm kind of starting to really dig Rumble. It's like I keep going on YouTube and everybody's like, man, YouTube just demonetized us, kicked us off the platform for something that we did in a video 3 years ago. And, they didn't even show us what it was. And then when we did figure out what they might be talking about, there was absolutely nothing wrong with that. Demonetized, some of them got kicked off. And Rumble's just like, cool, man, Wild Wild West, have fun. So it's not quite as user-friendly or as search-driven as YouTube, and it's not as monetizable as YouTube, but I'm digging it. It's fresh grounds. Anyhow, so yeah, that's on the home buying side. There's a lot of steps to it. Again, if you give me a call, I'll put my phone number up here on the end. If you have questions, I'm here for you. Even if you're in a different state, I can't speak to a different state's laws because I'm not licensed in other states. But if you got some general stuff, give me a call. I'm happy to help other veterans. I love to help other veterans. I've been in that position too. Is a first-time home buyer, multiple-time home buyer, and even today, every once in a while, I still get something like, "Wait, how's that going to work?" It happens. So, got questions? That's what I'm here for. I may not know all the answers, but I'm gonna have a good time trying to figure it out. Anyhow, let's flip this over and start talking about, there's the chat room. Y'all pop in here, throw something down. But in the meantime, I'm going to switch over to talking about VA sellers. Ooh, sellers. Ooh, man, you got problems right now if you're selling a home. Happy problems for the most part. Homes are still selling pretty fast. Condos have slowed a little. Single family homes and condos, there's both twice as many in both categories on the market. I just did the market statistics. There's twice as many homes on the market as there were a year ago. Same time period. So there's more inventory out there right now, which means there's more variety to choose from. So you have to be really sharp about how you do this. But one of the things that we've seen come out, especially because, we got those golden handcuffs, man. Like, I'm locked in at like a 3 or 3.25% interest rate. You're gonna have to drag my body out of this house, man. Now, we've talked about, potentially down the line buying a different house and then renting this one out. But that's going to be a good financial decision when that time comes. But yeah, if you're locked in at, some people are out there 2.5% interest rate, man, that's crazy. Like, we've never seen that. And if you've got that, then it's still very attractive for somebody to say, look, we want to buy your house. We'll give you the price we want, or the price you're asking for, but we want you to continue to hold the note and do, seller financing for, this amount, and we'll pay you extra on top of that. So, we're still under what the average interest rate is right now. So, if you've got somebody who's at, say, 2.5% and they're willing to put another 3% on top of that, they're still at 5.5%. Which is under we've been averaging around 7-ish. So yeah, that saves them a bunch of money. You make more money. Everybody's happy. But if you bought your house with a VA loan, that ties up your entitlement until such time they decide to sell that house and free up your entitlement, or you get paid off. That's a problem if you want to go buy a different house using your VA loan. Plain and simple. Is it always a wrong decision? No, there's times that makes a lot of sense. On the other hand, if you're kind of, you really dig using your VA loan, don't tie it up that way. And those loan assumption programs is what I'm referring to. They're not a terrible tool to use, but you have to be very sharp on how you use them. With VA, you're going to have to worry about entitlement. With any loan type, you're going to have to worry about the assumption process, because most mortgages have what's known as a due on sale clause. So, hey, I'm selling you my house. Hey, that transfers as that's sale. And that triggers that due on sale clause. So the bank says, hey, pay up. You sold it. But no, we got this deal over here. Nope, too bad. You got to pay me. Yeah, you owe me $328,000 for $719.54. Pay up. Well, no, I'm getting monthly payments. Doesn't matter. You got to pay us. So that's something to be aware of. VA loan, same thing. Don't want you guys to get, tied up unnecessarily. And if you got questions about this, give me a call. One thing I do want to say, if you are looking at selling your house, especially if you're not in my area, make sure that your agent, especially if you're a veteran, not in my area, make sure your agent is not kicking those VA loan offers out just on the basis of they're not good. That's a decision for you. Especially if you've got, veteran family members, even if you're not a vet yourself, great granddad was in, the Merchant Marines and I want to help out another veteran. That is your prerogative. You're the home seller. What you say is what matters. And if your agent doesn't like it, I'm telling you right now, fire them. Seriously. Now you can tell me hey, look, I don't want to, you can tell me I would rather have a veteran buy my house because I myself am a veteran. Now, I'm telling you right now, when it comes time for me to sell this house, VA loans are getting top priority. It's a decision I can make. Again, we don't need a transfer of money to buy a house. I can say I like this dude's shirt. There's no obligation to go with the highest and best offer. Now, I know some agents are out there, their heads spitting like freaking exorcists right now. You don't have to go with highest and best. You can say, I like that dude's shirt. Or, man, she has some really kicking, high heels on. I like that. That's all it takes. And in this case, in this instance, what I'm going to do when it's time to sell my house, VA loans go on top. Now, out of those, those I'll choose the highest and best from. But they're going to get priority in my world because I'm a veteran. I know what it's like to buy a house as a veteran. I've done it a couple of times now. Sometimes it's been okay. Sometimes this last time was a real headache. I want to make that experience the best possible for the veteran who's going to buy my house. It's not for sale. It's not for sale yet. When that day comes, that's how I'm going to be. And if you're a veteran, you're thinking about selling your house, VA loans should be on the top of your pile if you want to help out your fellow veterans. And there's nothing saying you can't do that. If your agent tells you otherwise, fire them and go find another agent who will say, look, we've got 3 offers in on the property. One's cash, one's conventional, the other's VA. Sweet. What's the VA one? Oh, they came in, right where you want to be. Cool. What do the other 2 look like? And they can say, oh, well, the cash one's 20 grand over. Hey, Mr. VA buyer, think we can, work that number up a little bit? Because if you meet this dude, I will 100% take your offer over his every day. Or even if they don't, they're like, no, man, I'm tapped out. That's my max. Cool. All right, you got it. It's your house. It's your transaction. It's your sale. Period. Just because an agent doesn't like it doesn't mean you don't have that prerogative. And the same thing goes with FHA loans. Those are typically for families. And there's some requirements there. You can say, I'm going to go VA, FHA, conventional, and cash. Typically, it's the other way around. Most agents want cash and then, work their way down to, a VA loan. Don't be that agent. Don't be that seller. Help out your fellow veterans if you can. That's what we're here for. So let's see here. Let me look at the bottom here. Man, look at this. Oh, I'm so happy. My I haven't dropped any frames. Looks like my audio is good. I'm stoked, man. Like, this new setup's working really good for me. So again, nobody's hopping into chat. You know what I need? I need some more memes, because, you know, here. Let's get some military stuff going on. Yes. Yeah, gotta have the A10, man. Oh yeah, so I'll do that one here in a minute. I got some good stuff. That's all there is to it. Where did that go? Oh, there we go. Got it on that one. But yeah, you know, can I do it from here? I can do it from here. Yay! See, I tried to set this up as best I can. So, like, I'm just not real super familiar with my little setup here. By the way, for those of you who are wondering, tech stuff, not that anybody's even listening, but whatever, I don't care, I'm here. Tech stuff, I'm running this through Open Broadcast software. It's a free app. There's a huge learning curve. It does some amazing stuff, but you got to build it. And that's what I've done. And then for my control over here, I'm on Touch Portal for my iPad. Touch Portal, it's paid, and I want to say it's like $13 or $14. Buy it once, good forever. And man, you can do all sorts of cool stuff with Touch Portal. It took me a while. My stuff still isn't really functionally organized the way I want it to be, but it still does pretty good. So I'm stoked. But, you know... Oh yeah, I'm trying to save that one. I'm so trying to save that one. That's a good one. But yeah, I'm saving that for a different day. That'll be for Veterans Day. I got a great one for you on Veterans Day. But yeah, you know, like veteran, try and find like, I've got another agent in this area. I can't remember his name, but I see his open house signs every once in a while. And he too, he's military. Sweet, dude. Like, I need to connect with you. I think his yard signs actually say he's the military agent. I'm like, hell yeah, man. Like, let's rock, brother. You know, that's how we are. We got that camaraderie. We want to help each other out. And, you know, there might be a time where I'm like, no, I can't do that right now. You know, like, I try to refer within my brokerage first, but, you know, this is my neighborhood. I might actually, you know, work with them. But anyhow, oh, yeah, here we go. I'm a veteran.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
I should have opened with that. And nobody's watching it like 50 minutes into this. So, but yeah, you know, that's how about your fellow vets. If your agent tells you otherwise, tell them to pound sand, tell them to get out of there. Go find yourself a different agent. There's plenty of us out there, plenty of realtors that are military veterans. There's plenty of lenders that are military veterans, or, you know, veteran spouses or whatever. If you go over to my website, zackkidd.com/lenders, you can look at my lenders, and I have them broken out. Like, you have to like scroll through them. But the ones who are veterans or spouses, I've got that noted on theirs, or VA loan expert, VA loan experts. I've got several of those. They all rock, man. Like, you know, I love my lenders. They are all awesome. Yeah, I'll give another shout out. Again, zackkidd.com. That's ZACHKIDD.com, /lenders. John McManus. Shouting out to you, dude. He's a mortgage infantryman. He's the mortgage infantryman. Yes, he was a 1T1B. That's an Army joke. But yeah, he's over in Apollo Beach, Riverview area. Really good dude. Absolutely love his vibe. Love his content and his material. Totally awesome guy. I mean, he's on the other side of the bay from me. But, you know, if you're shopping over in that Riverview area, and there are a lot of military veterans or you know, active duty military coming out of MacDill Air Force Base, and they're out there in that Lithia Pinecrest area because they get a great bang for their buck and their commute isn't terrible. And if you're looking to buy, call John. He's over there. So I don't have a little ticker for it, but zackkidd.com /lenders. John McManus. You know what? Hey, I'm sitting right here. Why don't I actually show? Don't tell. Lenders. And bring down the chat box. Bring this up. There you go. I know Jay. I know he's a veteran, and he's great with VA loans. Mindy, I think she's a spouse. She's amazing with VA loans. Zeke, he's great with VA loans too, but he's not, he didn't serve. Will Merritt, definitely great with VA loans. He's Navy vet. I think Travis Rowe is a veteran too. Norm Stepno, I think he moved to a different company. I got to confirm that. I think he's an Army vet too. John McManus. Yep. There he is. I love his profile photo too. Janine Smith. She is a rock star when it comes to VA loans. She's just the one that I'm like, look, if I ever get stumped, I call Janine. Like she is a miracle worker with VA loans. Let's see, Jamie Rude, she's not in our area. She's over in the Melbourne area. Future Home Loans. She sent me a card on Veterans Day and I'm like, hey, yeah, we need to connect. So I've got her up there as well. Hannah Morris, Veteran Mortgage Team. I think she's a spouse, but she might have been active duty at one point. But she's in North Carolina, something like that. Frank Gemma, Diana Harvey, she's awesome too. Christina Carroll's awesome. I mean, all these people are awesome. But those are the ones I can tell you off the top of my head that are actual veterans or spouses. John McManus, he's just a dude, man. Mortgage infantryman. Contact info, and I think I got him pinned over there just someplace random at Apollo Beach. Yeah, which is cool. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if you're shopping in that area, if you're looking for a great, military or veteran lender, John McManus, man. If you're looking for his info, there you go. Super easy. Or just go to my website and look up lenders. Super, super easy. Yeah, Dave, hey, look, back in the chat here. Dave says he dealt with Norm and he was awesome. I too dealt with Norm. Jay Craig right there. They're both just amazing dudes. I love them. I don't like they've moved on to different brokerages now. But yeah, they know their stuff. Janine knows her stuff. John, like all of them, they know their stuff. And the big thing for me is I know anybody on that list, every single one of them, I know they will get your deal across the finish line, or they're going to have a damn good reason why, like, oh, hey, the bank blew up, but we're still going to get you your money. That's how these guys are. And I actually had a veteran buyer. She was awesome too, but she came to me with a couple of ragtag lenders here and there. Tried several times to get a deal across the finish line, and every time the deal would explode because the lender sucked. And I'm like, quit bringing me these dirt bags. Like, and they would promise out the wazoo about stuff. And I'm like, no, man, like this is scrappy shitbag here. He's horrible. Like, just absolutely the worst human being. And so we had it, and I've been telling her this whole time to get over with Norm. At the time, Michelle was there, and Michelle was awesome. I love Michelle. She's coming up on a future episode here. But, I'm like, you need to get in touch with Michelle. So, but no. All right, fine, whatever. Like, I get zero kickbacks from anybody ever. I refuse to. So I'm not getting anything out of this. I just want Steele to make it across the finish line because it's now like the third or fourth one we tried. So, but anyhow, so it was like Thursday afternoon, and dude drops her, the lender dropped my client an email and said, or text message, I think it was, and said, yeah, I'm going out of town, but you got to come up with $5,000 for closing. It's in 2 weeks, and sorry, that's all I got for you, but I'm on vacation. Okay, thanks, bye. And my poor client called me completely freaking out. And I'm like, look, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm about to find out. So that's what I did. And I called. And like, I blew this dude's phone up. I know he was out on some boat someplace, drunker than hell, being mad that I was blowing his phone up. But you don't just drop a bombshell like that on your client and then ghost them. So, and eventually I got a hold of him on Saturday when he wasn't supposed to be available. He's like, no, that's what it's got to be. That's the best I can do. I'm like, that's bullshit. And how dare you wait till the last minute and do that with somebody? So he's like, well, you don't understand lending. I'm like, yeah, I do. Well, I know enough. That ain't right. So, tried to pull an attitude. So anyhow, in the meantime, over that weekend, my client had a birthday party for extended family and happened to bump into Michelle because Michelle had somebody who was related, extended to the person whose birthday it was. So they bumped into each other at the party and they got to talking, hey, who are you? Blah, 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 blah. And I didn't arrange this. I swear to God, I didn't arrange this. But I've been telling her all the time, I'm like, talk to Michelle. Michelle's awesome. So they get to talking at the party. So she calls me as soon as the party's done. She's like, Michelle is phenomenal. I'm like, why do you think I've been telling you to call Michelle all this time? So we had 2 weeks until closing. And it was, it was a weekend, so there's not much you can do. It was, let's see, Monday was the first day, and it was there was so it was a week and a half, to basically 2 weeks, but Monday to a Friday, and then it was the following Friday that was closing. And I really didn't want to extend this one. So Monday comes, I'm like, Michelle, you think you can pull this off? She's like, of course I can pull this off. VA loan, imperfect credit, couple other, little stressful parts there. By Thursday, she had the loan approved. By Friday, she had her down to not paying anything out of pocket. So we went from, in less than a week's time, $5,000 or I'll drop you as a client, to now she's putting out nothing and still getting the house. I'm like, man, that's amazing. By Thursday of next week, Michelle got her money refunded at closing. So my client walked with the house, nothing out of pocket, $800 in her pocket. She got a check at closing for $800. That's what I mean when I say I know these lenders can get the deal across the finish line. If you got a shit bag, get rid of them. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to be really, really bad here. I'm going to call them out. Just because they have the name the word veterans in their name does not mean that they are looking out for veterans. It just means that's who they're marketing them to. Veterans United. I said it. Oh God, where's my beeper button? Soundboard. Yeah, day late and $1 short for that one. They deserve it. They're horrible. And the reason I say they're horrible, because they're horrible, in their marketing material, they say, we only charge veterans 1%. It's a big marketing thing for them. We only charge veterans 1%. And they say that over and over and over again. Go over to the VA lending guidelines. 1% is the maximum amount allowed by law. But they're so great for veterans. Yeah, they're charging you the maximum. $500,000 house, they're charging you $5,000. Free. Well, not free, but, pretty close. Most of my lenders will do it for next to nothing. As a matter of fact, while I'm sitting right here, where did that one go? It was veteran shit. No, wasn't there. Yeah. Military friendly agent, that's me. And, oh man, I hope I didn't already take this off of here. I gotta remember where I was. That's the other big part. It's terrible. Terrible, I tell you. Is it there? Are you there? No.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Yeah, I was a little lost there for a second. Where did I put that? Oh no, okay, we're back this up. No, not there. Finance.
If I provided to you up to $15,000 in down payment assistance with no location limitations, would you want to hear more? Well, you know about our Grow Gives program, right? Well, now we are expanding it in 2 ways. The first is for first-time homebuyers, and the second is for non-first-time homebuyers. If you pair this program with up to 3% in seller credits, you'll find yourself bringing next to nothing out of pocket to the closing table. If this could work for you or someone you may know, shoot me a message and I'll share with you the details.
Yep, that's Zeke Samples. He just put up... Come on, get rid of those. he just put up a post on Facebook that I reshared that he's cutting his fee for veterans for like the next month for in honor of Memorial Day weekend. And I'm like, that's a dude thing to do. So, 1% maximum allowed by law. And then you got Zeke like, no, dude, I got you. Like that's how things should be. So let me pop over here real quick and see if I can find exactly how we phrased it. Look at me, I'm still streaming. This is great. Yeah, here you go. In honor of Memorial Day, I am covering all VA appraisals for any contracts dated 5/24 to 6/15. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. And it's like an appraisal. I think those run $300-400. So there's $300-400 savings. Those are the kind of lenders you want. That's how it should be. Take care of people. I'm a big believer that the best people, and that's why I've got the lenders that I do, and a lot of the other vendors that I do, they're here looking to take care of people. That's it. Just like me. I want my other veterans to have the best life they can. And that means home ownership. That's why I do dog rescue stuff. There's a whole bunch of programs out there that pair up vets with pets. And, zero adoption fees, pause for patriots. There's tons of awesome opportunities there for veterans and homes and, dogs. Like that's a good mix there. I got my emotional support animal. She's over here passed out. Like, whatever, Dad, shut up already. But yeah, we should be taking care of each other, right?
Oh, of course you should come. The splendor of fighting and killing, a bloodbath, and the cause of vengeance. Who wouldn't want to come?
Star Trek got it. Right? That's Deep Space Nine. I love that quote. He's like, yeah, it sounds like fun, man. So, yeah, still nothing else in chat. So I bet on here, how long now? Yeah, over an hour. Feel kind of lonely. I'm so lonely. I'm not lonely. It's all good. I'm just here to have fun, talk smack. Maybe somebody will tune in at some point or like fast forward through here and go, oh my God, I needed to hear that. I don't know. I'm trying to see, is there anything else here I need to share? Yeah, hey, I got great memes. Like, y'all just get me riffing on a topic. I'll do some good memes here. Let's see, anything else? No, let's go. Let's see, is there, oh yeah, I got some good real estate memes. Yeah, this is good stuff here. Let's see. Oh, here you go. No, that one's good, but yeah, here, let's do the deal with the inspections. Yeah, let me get rid of this first. No, not that. I turned that off. There you go. You okay? Veterans, I've learned to live with a very flexible definition of okay. I totally feel that one. Why won't that go away? See, I got a glitch. That's all there is to it. I'm gonna have to do this manually. I hate doing things manually. That's why I've got Touch Portal. Slideshows. Yeah, I gotta figure out why that isn't turning off on its own. That's okay. Let's go back over to real estate memes. Yeah. So, I talked about doing home inspections. This is what a home inspection's like.
Yeah, here. Oh, well, you got a little dry rot here, boss. That's okay. Every boat's got it.
Every boat's got it.
You're lucky. Yours is above the water line. Well, most of it anyway.
Again, one of my favorite movies, Captain Ron. You both got a little dry rot. Luckily, it's just above the water line. That is just so epic, man. But yeah, that's kind of how inspections go sometimes. You walk into a house, you're like, oh, no. How is this thing still standing, But it happens. Oh, let's see. That one doesn't matter. That one's cool. See, I got that one there. Man, I got so much good stuff. This is great. Yeah, nobody's showing up for my live. It's all good though. So yeah, just waiting to see if anybody else has any questions. Put them in the chat. And chat from wherever you're at. At some point, I will get some engagement, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, the chat room's blowing up. What do I do?" Which, you know, that's a thing. I didn't even know this existed until a couple of weeks ago. Oh, Dave's here. He's hanging. I love it. He's like a super fan for me. I appreciate it, Dave. But yeah, so I found that there's this thing over on Twitch, if you guys aren't on Twitch, where, you know, like right now I'm live over there. It's cool, twitch.tv. But, you know, you go live and then they'll save like a short version of it if you set it up to do that, which I didn't realize I had to set it up to do that, so I just did that this week. But like if you're just over here just chatting, which is what I'm doing, and you know it's just being streamed, there's nothing going on, cool, fine, whatever, man. And you might get one viewer who kind of skips in and says, hey, what's going on here, and then they'll leave. But then they have this other feature called a raid. And typically Twitch is about gaming, but you know, real estate game, that's me. But yeah, Twitch is about gaming content, and they will do what they call raids, where they'll have like, you know, thousands of people in one room, and the guy who's leading that room will say, this guy has no viewers, let's go check him out. Cool. And they'll, like, you go from 0 to 10,000 viewers, and they're just in there like, you know, being awesome. Hopefully they're being awesome. And most of the time they are, as far as what I can tell. So I've got my setup to let me know if somebody does that on Twitch. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I put it together, so if it ever does, I'll know. As a matter of fact, you will too, because it'll come up here on screen and you go, what the hell is going on? It's called a raid. It'll be a thing. So yeah, let's do the station identification. You're listening to KIDD Radio, the real estate game with the pirate name. Yep, there you go. So yeah, piracy, I'm all about it, man. Pirates is good. And yes, I'm a huge fan of Pirates of the Caribbean. It was hysterical. How can you not love Johnny Depp anyway? Oh, that's a good one, but I am not breaking that out today. That I got some great content. Y'all got to come over here and like engage to get the really, really good stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got some really awesome stuff. And yes, I built it specifically for you, the viewer. I crack myself up. I love it. Let's see. Nope, not that one, but that's still a good one. That's not where I need to be. No, I'm not going to do that. Oh yeah, hey. Yeah, well, this is over on my veteran side too, but yeah, I'm out here just trying to spit knowledge, you know, like we need the knowledge because, you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
The other half is extreme violence. I cracked myself up. see, if you can't tell, I'll either get the original clip or I'll get the original clip and memeify it. You know, I've seen that meme before, but it's just not as funny as when it's in a video. Oh Lord. But yeah, I have a good time. See?
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Yeah, I don't know if I should be doing this stuff, but I'm doing it. So I'm sure like the G.I. Joe theme song is going to get it, like, you know, a copyright slap on the wrist there on YouTube or something. I don't know. It's Creative Commons. It's for commentary, for color commentary on stuff. But yeah. Just here to have good little bit of fun. Have some good stuff going on. Yeah, don't need that. Yeah. See, I should put that in the veteran one too. Anyhow. Yep, Dave's still here. Dave's still hanging, man. I appreciate it, Dave. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I think, let's see. Yeah, I've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. Didn't really plan on being on for an hour and 15 minutes, but hey, what the heck? Just try to get you all some good info. Hopefully you come back and look at this a little bit later on and kind of like if you go over and check it out on YouTube. Here, let me do it this way. There we go. I'm on YouTube. Ooh, hey, frame stutter. Ooh, it hated that. Okay, should be a little better now. Oh, that was terrible. There's the transition. Anyhow, let's do YouTube again. Hey, yeah, that actually worked without stuttering too badly. Check it out over on YouTube. Once this video is complete, I'll go in and put in the timestamps on different topics, so you can just kind of skip around real easy and, find the content that applies to you. Because that's what it's all about, man. Should I put that up there a little longer? See, I love being able to do this. This is just so cool. I have so much fun doing this too. Like, this is the whole point. Like, I spent a lot of time building this. Hey, if you want to really help me out, subscribe to the YouTube channel or, go give it a thumbs up or something. But the one thing I'm really begging for right now is followers on TikTok. And my TikTok handle is the same as my YouTube. It's Zach Kid Agent. And I do have it set up to do a vertical live stream. It also makes it easier later when I've got a great clip that I can go just grab the vertical version. It's already pre-formatted, and I just dump that in my editor and throw the captions on top, so it's perfect. But in order for me to be able to simulcast live stream this over on TikTok, I need 1,000 followers there. Yes, I know. I need to go create more content on TikTok. That's why I'm here. Because now I can just do the vertical record and drop some wisdom. Wasn't really super feeling like being able to do shorts today. Oh, that's sad. You can't even see this. It's too glary. That's going to have some glare to it. I'm just going to fix that later. That's the Faith album. Gotta have faith. Anyhow, but oh, okay. I was like, oh God, please tell me it's not lagging again. Oh yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. But yeah, you got to have 1,000 followers on TikTok in order to be able to live stream there. So I'm just going to have to start creating more fun content and drop it over on TikTok and try and work myself up to 1,000 followers. Hopefully with my sense of humor, that'll go pretty quickly. And, there's some really good stuff going on, not just in real estate, but, in the world that's totally meme worthy, that still kind of applies to real estate and veteran stuff. And, I think I can create some good content pretty quickly. And that's why I got this whole setup here. So it's, if I've got 50 good ideas, I do that in less time I've been streaming for. And if I say something really awesome on the stream, I got a button on here, automatically grabs a clip for me, go back, just shave down whatever, wherever the start of it is, drop my captions on top, boom, it's ready to go. And that's part of the reason that I've been working really hard on this setup, because I want to be able to bring on guests and clip their content. The name of the podcast is A Rising Tide, and the whole idea is that a rising tide lifts all boats. That's John F. Kennedy quote. But the whole point there is, if I bring on a lender like John McManus, he's going to tell you some amazing stuff, and that makes me look good because I introduced you to John McManus, right? So, or any of the other veterans, or, lenders or vendors or anything like that. So, the idea is, to help everybody else out, and in that way, help myself out too. So, but yeah, TikTok, that's going to be a big one, but I'll be able to just clip it, and that's amazing. Just, oh, hey, they just dropped this awesome one. Click that backtrack button, cut it down, drop the captions on top. Time to production, literally from the time that I stopped doing this to grabbing that clip and doing the full edit and publish on it, might be, I'm going to say 10 minutes because I'll probably want to take a break in between. But yeah, if there's 5 of those, then it's still only going to take me 10 minutes because it's super easy for me to do this. That was the whole point of building this. So, yep, Dave's still here. Dave's not here, man. Yes, I'm a Gen X child. I have seen Cheech and Chong. Where's the Dory going? Hey, Dory. Come here. Whoops. Come here, sweetheart. Oh, yeah. Get my Dory dog up here. She won't bark. Yeah. Hey, can you look there? No. She's like, get me down, Dad. Oh. Yeah. You want to go out there and see what's going on? Okay. Hey, go figure out what's going on out there. What's going on out here? Somebody came home. So Dory's like, I gotta go find out. But yeah, Dory, she's a rescue. Got her from Pinellas County Animal Services. I love Pinellas County Animal Services. They're a no-kill shelter. They've got some great programs. They've got Don't Forget About Me shelter dogs. They do great social media posts for the dogs. I actually post that stuff up on the more normal broadcast. This is a special edition. Which is funny because I didn't even do the intro for a special edition. I wanted to get this going. But anyhow, yeah, Dory, absolutely love this dog. We've got her over on Facebook at Dory's Story. And she's just wonderful. Most of the time, she's very chill. Every once in a while, she gets the zoomies. If there's certain words like walk, oh man, she'll bounce off the walls for that one. But, she's great. And again, I think our adoption fee, I think they waived most of the adoption fee or all of it because I was a veteran. I'm like, okay, I'll take the dog for free. And she was a little skittish when we first got her, but she was hiding at the back of the kennel all scared. The rest of the dogs were up front like, hey, pick me. And Dory's in the back like, oh my God, get me out of here. So we sprung her from the joint and took her she got here, gave her a bed, we set her in the living room so she could wander and be fine, and she took 3 days of just nothing but sleep. She loved the peace and quiet, which is totally understandable. And then after about 3 weeks, she started to come out of her shell. It was probably 3 months before we heard her bark. Now she won't shut up. If she's hungry, she'll tell you she's hungry. But Dave said he flipped over to YouTube and couldn't comment. Ooh. I wonder if anybody else is having that problem. Let me pop over here real quick. Maybe I haven't hit a threshold for YouTube yet, that it won't let me do it. Checking. Hey, it says I'm live. Okay, so it does say that the Restream bot is doing it through YouTube. So, but it's grabbing it from Facebook. So I don't know why it's not actually rocking that way. I don't know, but it looked like it worked for me. So if you're looking for the YouTube channel, there it is. But yeah, Dory, huge. Love that dog. She's like every day I'm like, I got Dory. She's so sweet. If you want to follow her adventures, we got her over on Dory's Story. We haven't posted anything in a while, but after the 3-day weekend, I've got the rest of the family thinking this way now too, which is just phenomenal. But yeah, 3-day weekend, everybody and their brothers out. Like my wife and I ran out to Dunedin Causeway this morning. Just brought I brought a cup of tea because I can't have coffee right now. But ran out there. It was like 8:30 in the morning, and it was still like the parking was almost totally packed. And nope, can't pay me enough to be out there right now. So same thing with being out on the boat. Nope, not going out in the boat over a 3-day holiday weekend, especially when the weather's nice. Nope. But come Tuesday or Wednesdays. Yeah. That's the ticket right there. So we're talking about going out to the beach Wednesday again. But maybe one of these days here real soon we'll take Dory out to Honeymoon Island to the dog beach. She loves the beach and the water, and she loves to splash, and it makes me very happy to do that for her. Because, I want her to have, just have her best life. So next go around, when I actually do the slideshow thingy, I'll make sure to include her stuff for you too, because I got some awesome pictures of her. She's my little sweetie. But yeah, if you're a vet, you can adopt a pet through Pinellas County Animal Services. They've got a program called Vets Adopt Pets. I've got the ticker for that over on that one, which I'm not going to show right now. But vetsadoptpets.org, and yeah, they'll pay your adoption fees if you're a veteran and you're adopting a dog. And, you know, there's Pause for Patriots. There's more advanced programs with more limitations. If, you know, you're disabled, you need a service dog, or, you know, something with a specific category. I was just happy to have, you know, after my last one went over the Rainbow Bridge, I was devastated for a couple of months. Then my wife said, "That's it. We need another dog." It drove me nuts. So we went and got Dory. So now I just pamper my little baby. Shit, honestly, that dog eats better than I do. Like, people don't understand. Like, I cook her dinner. I've tried to be good about batching it, but this week she's got ground beef, macaroni, no cheese in it. Well, not mac and cheese kind of stuff, but she get, you know, cooked macaroni. She's got ground beef in there, and I'll nuke it up and like put just a little bit of a handful of shredded cheddar in there, mix it up for her, and she's like, "Oh, it's the best stuff ever, Dad." Last week was fish and rice. Like, yeah, I cooked for her. She's just a little spoiled, but she deserves it, you know. Anyhow, yeah. So Dave's still here. Dave's not here, man. Let me go back over to this one. Let's see how badly I break it. Moving back to this screen. Yeah, didn't look like it dropped that bad. So chat box is there. Dave says he flipped over to YouTube and couldn't comment. If you are watching from Facebook or YouTube, do me a favor, pop over to the YouTube channel and see if you can comment there. I would appreciate it. Dave's still here, man. Dave's not here, man. I bet you've heard that for, you know, 40 years now, but yeah, hop over to the YouTube at Zach Kid Agent, and if you can drop a comment, let me know. If you do, it'll show up on my screen showing, you know, where you're commenting from, which is awesome. So, you know, if it's Twitch or Twitter or whatever, it'll pop up there. Oh yeah, hey, I've been dying to try this one out on a live stream. Got this nice little setup going. Yeah, boy. What have I got here? Oops, nope. Wasn't supposed to throw that one down. So I have the ability to do a board. So I can come over here and go, if it works, it should be working. And no, that one failed this time around. Let me turn that off. I mean, it kind of worked. Did it just not load the script to do it? Let's see here. Tools, scripts. Yeah, whiteboard should be working. So let's try it again. I mean, it's showing me my mouse. Just doesn't want to write. Oh man, that's a bummer. I had this all set up to work, and I had it working on the last try. But nope. Doesn't want to work tonight. Don't know why. That's okay. I'll have to try it again later. Try and make that work. Oh, that's really aggravating that it won't, though. Like, yes, I got it. Everything's kitted out. And no, it failed. Whatever. It's okay. We learn, we do, and then we learn, and then we do. Learn, do, repeat. I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, I have never heard anything so profound and yet so maddening. And so accurate and so maddening. Because it's true. Like, to get this set up to where it is today, the learning curve was insane. And I have pounded on this thing for a couple months now. But aside from the occasional stupid little glitch, like, you know, my whiteboard not working, you know, I think it's working, you know, like things. Oh, okay. So you did erase. Pen. Oh. Well, at least it's telling me what it's supposed to be doing. It's just not working correctly. Okay, the input's working. It's just the output through OBS just doesn't want to work right. Yeah, that's erase, and that's pen. Yeah. Okay, that was worth a shot. Let's try this. Current pen pressure. Yeah, that should be working great. You know what? I'm going to try it one more time because, you know, I'm live. It should work. Nope. No love on the whiteboard tonight. That's okay. Something else for me to sort and fix, but I'm having fun regardless. It's just me and Dave. That's okay. Y'all can hop in here. I don't have the ticker going. Chat from where you're at. Doesn't matter where you're watching at. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Let's see. Where else am I? Daily Motion. I don't know why I've got that. Let's see. LinkedIn. I'm also streaming. Well, theoretically, I'm streaming to LinkedIn. Yeah, it shows I'm streaming to LinkedIn. That's awesome. Rumble said it's unable to connect. Oh, you bugger. That's okay. Oh, Dave found the chat in YouTube. Yay! Okay, that's awesome. I don't know why Rumble couldn't connect, but I'll fix that on the next go round. Okay, cool. That's fantastic. Thank you, Dave, for running that down for me. I wish I could highlight that comment, but right now I can't. So yeah, if you're watching not on Rumble tonight, I don't know why it glitched. Twitch, LinkedIn, X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. You can comment from wherever. You were looking in the wrong place. Were you trying to do it on mobile, Dave? Was that the thing? Yeah, he's probably typing. It doesn't give me the little dots when he's typing, but I'm sure he's typing. I think it's actually down in the comment section on YouTube. I primarily use everything on the desktop mode because like I've got the super huge screen in front of me. It's literally a TV. I don't know what size it is. It's big. But you know, 4K, like for what I'm doing, this is great. But yeah, it's weird to like go from that back over to mobile. I'm like, I don't know how things work on mobile half the time. I never watch live streams on mobile, which I should, but I don't. Because hey, you ready? Here's a really amazing one. This I got from Simon Black from the Sovereign Man podcast. I talk about this one a lot. Oh, yeah, okay. Dave says no. Used to seeing it under the video. It's on the side. Okay, there you go. So if you're on YouTube, it's on the side of the video. But yeah, I love this quote that the universal law of prosperity says that you must create more than you consume. That's it. If you want to be prosperous, you have to create more value in the world than you consume. Okay, so let's see. Right now I've been streaming for an hour and a half. Theoretically, that buys me an hour and a half of social media time. It's not. I'm usually working, trying to build things like this and, you know, talk real estate. And I have a great time doing all of that stuff. And I try to have a little bit of fun. Like I said, we went to the Causeway this morning and sat there and I had to sip tea, but, you know, sat there, sip coffee, watched dolphins out playing. That was great. A couple of people out fishing, a whole bunch of people out kayaking and boating and, you know, on the boater cycles. That's jet skis. But yeah, you know, sat out there for 15, 20 minutes and went, sweet, I'm good. Time to go to work. And yeah, I've been working all day long trying to figure out what this problem is with the guest audio. It's not a problem that I necessarily need to solve, but here, let's go back over here real quickly. The problem I'm having, and if any of you watching this later are familiar with OBS, I haven't actually fired up Voicemeeter yet. And Video Ninja. The problem I'm having is I can bring in my audio, I can bring in the guest audio. All of that works fine. The second I do something like this,
ain't nobody got time for that.
I can hear it, but the guest can't. Or I can switch it up to where the guest can hear it, but I can't. Now, mind you, these are all my clips. I know what's going on. I know what they are, but dang it, I want to listen to them too. They're funny. At least a lot of them are. And I don't want to like talk over them unnecessarily. So I think what I probably will do short term is this other solution that I found that allows me to play these and for the guest to be able to hear it, because I want their reaction more than mine. I know what all these clips are. I've worked I've got a checklist this long to get one clip. It's not just finding it. I got to edit it the way it should be. If you notice, I've got, if it's a slightly longer, I've got the info about it. Then I got to save it, export it, change it over to a different format, re-import it over here, have a little button. There's a whole bunch of steps to deal with this. So I'm pretty good about knowing what's going on, and I can see it play on screen. I know how long it's going to take, but it takes the fun out of it when you're not, it takes a little bit of the fun out of it when you're not totally sharing the content for you both to watch. And that's where my frustrations come in. I've spent over a day trying to make this work, and I haven't got a lot of good information on how to make it work. The best I've heard is to use Voice Meter, and then nobody else has seemed to have much success with it. So I don't know. It's very frustrating that this isn't something that is built in as something easy to do. But even trying to bring somebody in on this, I can use this. I could use Zoom, but there's a 45 minute time limit unless you get the paid version. There's StreamYard, which is awesome from what I've seen, but again, it's a paid option. And I don't know what their limitations are, because I do want to be able to have fun on here. But both of those, it's easy to bring on guests. It's easy to bring on multiple guests. It's easy for everybody to get the same content at the same time. And unfortunately, this setup, while it's far more flexible and it's free, I like free. I like flexible, but I also like free. No, it's like super frustrating, because here's something that is common across all these other ones. Or at least as far as I know, it's very common on other platforms. It's just not something that's inbuilt to do this. The other application that I use to bring guests on is called Video Ninja. It's phenomenal. It's all of that stuff, and it's free, and it's customizable, and it works very similarly to Zoom. It's just, when I do one of these, there's either you hear it or I hear it, and that's really frustrating. Or if you're a guest, you'll hear it, or I'll hear it and you won't, and that takes fun out of it. So anyhow, but yeah, universal law of prosperity, it's one of those things I have done my best to internalize. I try to be productive as often as I can. I'm productive towards the things that I know I should be productive towards. And yeah, it's a challenge, but it was a major mindset shift for me, because yeah, we all get stuck in the Facebook scroll. We all get stuck watching some idiot talk on, Facebook or YouTube for an hour and a half. I was worried about my missed frames. It glitched once, but other than that, yeah, it's way below 0%. So this is going great. But if y'all watched or tried to watch my first 2 or 3 that I did, they didn't work very well. So I had to go in and troubleshoot, and it's part of the process. This is not part of the process that looks great, works great, or anything, but some days this is the process. You beat your head up against a wall, and you go, oh man, that really sucked. How do I fix that? And then you fix it, and then you can do more. You learn, you do, you repeat. And the whole point behind it is to produce more content that I consume. And that's a tall order, because, we're all used to doing the Facebook doom scroll and, watching TikTok for 2 hours before you actually go to sleep at night and that kind of thing. And I'm trying to be very conscious about that. So the universal law of prosperity, one more time, that's Simon Black from Sovereign Man podcast. And he talks about that quite often, that you need to produce more than you consume. That's how you become prosperous in life. So anyhow, but yeah, when it comes to doing this stuff, oh, okay. When it comes to doing this stuff, a lot of it is just give it a shot and see what happens.
Wait a minute. We don't even know if this thing is safe or not.
Well, best way to find out is get her out on the ocean, Kitty. Anything's gonna happen, it's gonna happen out there.
I love Captain Rod. That was such a great movie. Shockingly, yeah, it still holds up. It's still hysterical. So yeah, I totally dig it. Anyhow, it's coming up on my dinner time. I already fed the doggo. I need to eat something now. So I think what I'm going to do is wrap it up for the evening. But let me go back over here and drop to YouTube one more time. I love this. I like, it took a lot to build these assets and to have cool things like if you notice around the border that you know, it's got the red and it goes with my voice. When I'm quiet, it doesn't go. When I talk, it goes. Like, that was a stupid little project. It took me probably half a day or a day to get it to work and work correctly and reliably and how it should. Yeah, that was a day. It only took me like 15 minutes to initially set it up, and then something broke, and I'm like, oh man. So I had to go back and figure it out. Now it works, you know, both landscape and vertical, and I totally dig it. But there was a lot building this out to make it look good and function well. If you notice, I got the American flag as the background tonight because Memorial Day. All of these things took time to build in, and I'm happy I did it. I think it makes a higher quality production, and that's what I want. I want people to look at this and go, great content, great entertainment. And you know what? Hold on here. What? Where's my memes? Nope, not that one. Let me go back over here. I'm gonna try and look for a specific meme here for a second as I'm talking. But part of my inspiration was there we go. Part of my inspiration. I'm a big fan of Frasier.
We've decided to find it charming.
Right, Frasier's hysterical, but it hit my head, it hit my brain. I have my own media company here, right? Like, I'm live streaming. I have been live for an hour and 42 minutes now, and aside from the time that it took to build all of this, and you know, obviously the equipment, that's it. I've got my own show. It cost me nothing to continue to do it. Right? Like, that's super powerful. And Frasier had his radio show. He had a 3-hour slot. And he did, I think it was 3 hours, 5 days a week, something like that, whatever it was. And I know Frasier's a fictional character. But, you know, he had his psychiatric practice. There we go. Had a psychiatric practice. That was his main day job. And then he was on the radio 3 hours a day. Look, 3 hours a day, that's going to be a little bit much for me to pull off. Maybe I can. I don't know. Maybe I split it off into different segments. Maybe I cut more dedicated content to specific topics. And yes, I can do that. I can go take I've got a good camera here. I can take that. I can take my drones, which I'm going to start incorporating some drone footage into some of this stuff. But yeah, I can take this. I can go film on location, do some stuff, bring it back here into the studio, cut great content. And it costs me nothing. Just time. A little bit of time to bring awesome stuff. Dave's like, go eat, shut up, go eat, kid. It's okay. But yeah, like the whole concept here is, you know, Frasier had his own media. It went very well for him. That's all I can do is take a shot. I now have my own basically radio show. Video killed the radio star, but now then podcasts are a thing. So yeah, it's kind of like radio's killing the video star, because MTV hasn't played videos in 30 years. Society would have been glorious if they just kept that up. But yeah, this is an opportunity, and I think while it's trending up, it's still a huge open market. I mean, yeah, I've seen there's probably 20 or 30 real estate agents and a couple of lenders that I've seen that are really killing it out here making content. Zeke Samples, he does great. Diana Harvey from Van Dyke Mortgage, she just keeps dropping these short little 2-minute videos and just crushing it, and I love it. She is so good at that. Same thing with Zeke. He does awesome social media stuff too. Ryan Speltz, he's doing a more full-on production like I'm doing, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, this is the wave of the future. No, like the whole concept of I'm going to print off 1,000 flyers and have them mailed to every house in a neighborhood. Number one, that's expensive. Number two, it's probably going right in the trash. And number three, all anybody wants to do is go back to their little black rectangle box. They want to be on their phone or on their TV or whatever. So this puts me in front of you. This puts me in front of you for free. So it's just about, right now it's about getting out there, trying, getting my shtick down, getting comfortable with it, finding out where the speed bumps are. Then I'll bring on a guest, make it a more consistent show, consistent with posting times, consistent with time frames and formats, and what I'm putting out there. Right now, I'm just kind of having fun. I'm just chatting. It's fun. And then, as time goes on, it starts to build up to be a thing. And there is actually an episode of Frasier. I think it was his 234th episode on the radio. And he was missing the tape, and they were reminiscing about his first show. And his first show was a complete disaster. Cool. I'm doing all right then. My first one was a complete disaster too. My second one was a complete disaster. Third one did a little better. This one, doing even better, I think. So, anyhow, I am having fun with this, and I especially appreciate Dave hanging with me for this entire time. I know it's not the same as watching a football game, but whatever. So we'll get out of here. You could have watched the entirety of Dune 2 in this time. Almost. It's an hour 46 now. So anyhow, everybody, if you're watching this at a later date, I'm going to sign off now. I'm tired. I've done a lot to try to get to this point today. So go back over here. There's solo main. Let's get over to this screen. And I'm going to sign off.
Thank you. Woo! That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't do.